Hello and welcome back to Starfish Point. My name is Nedman, I'm the founder of Nedman Industries, and I have an unlimited budget to build the city of my dreams. In the last episode, we built this, listen, hear me out. We wanted to build Chinatown, a very small little Chinatown district within our city, but we very much got carried away pretty quickly and ended up building this kind of Chinese-themed mega project, autosave. This is kind of what we've ended up with. I think it's very unique and it's very different. I'm not going to say that I love it just yet because I don't. There is a lot of work that needs to go in with trying to blend this kind of area into the city so that it doesn't stick out so much, because it's kind of like a bit of an eyesore at the moment. It doesn't really fit the theme of the city itself, but I'm sure once we start building around this sort of area, it will start to look really good. But that's just a little look for you of what we built in the last episode, and I think to be fair, it does look quite good. So if you haven't watched the last episode, this is what we've built, all Chinese style themed. It's kind of more like a presidential area mega project more than anything, but yeah, we definitely got carried away. But the rest of the city looks absolutely beautiful as always, still looks great. So we are happy with how that is. What we need to try and do is we need to try and kind of blend this part of the city in. I'm going to try and blend it in, and then if I don't like this area, guess where it's going? It's going in the bin. It's very much going in the bin, because I want this city to look nice, I want it to look good, and if that isn't sitting right with the rest of it, then it is going to go. We're going to bin it, and it is what it is. It's what it is. We can waste our life away trying to make things right, and that's what we'll do. But this is the city at the moment. It's looking pretty nice and healthy. But I'm just praying that once we blend this part of the city in, it will start to look pretty nice, because there are some really cool features and aspects about this section. So first things first, I want to start off with this portion here and then this portion here, because it'd be nice to kind of get this blended in first, and then we can work our way upwards. I'm kind of undecided on what to do with this space here. I'm thinking something quite unique, or something that will fill a lot of space in this section. So I'm going to have a little browse and see what we can come up with. I might have a little look at this modern technical university, because that could potentially work out relatively nicely. I'm just going to place it and have a look to see what the actual asset looks like and what kind of upgrades it offers, but it looks alright to be fair. Oh, loads of upgrades, crikey Mikey. So an extension wing will, wow, extend that onto there. Oh my goodness, it turns into an actual large building. Modern student plaza, so it gets rid of that greenery and makes it like that, okay. And then an academy building is an extra building, and then what's that, going to be a gym or something? A lecture hall, not quite. Okay, interesting. How would that look near there? I think that could work, to be fair, or would we want that here? Maybe that would fit quite nicely in here. Oh, decisions, my friends. So I'm just moving it around. I think it would actually look quite nice near this main sort of entrance to the city area, kind of like there. And then we can just adjust a few things around it to blend it in. I don't think I can put it that way. I think that's probably our best bet. I think you know what, we're going to go with that. We're going to go here. So let's delete it, of course. Let's start to make a little bit of room for this building. I was not planning on building this at all, to be honest, but when duty calls, we must build. Okay, let's have a look to see what goes on here then. That's fine, that's fine. That just needs a little bit of suasion over to the edge here, hopefully. I don't want it to drop down. I want that to right over. Probably as far as it's going to go, isn't it, really? A little bit more. There we go. I think that looks a little bit better like that. Okay. That's a good start. Now let's whack a couple of upgrades on this bad boy to make it look nice. See, I like that stairs. Okay, it remains. What do we think of the plaza? Does it actually give us any benefits? It doesn't. All it does is remove the nice part of the plaza. I mean, it also provides a nice part, but I think that's quite a good spot actually. I reckon that's quite a decent little area. Now let's just draw this road out all the way to the end, and maybe we'll slap a cul-de-sac just on the end here. Maybe a small one, just like that. That kind of comes to an end, and then we'll just pick this tree because we want to upgrade those trees, and then for some reason we're encroaching onto the road with our other trees, so we'll just pick those up there. Fantastic. There's a little one there as well. Cool. Okay, good. Right, I want to... There's obviously this kind of gap behind it, which is kind of an awkward gap. What about these secondary buildings? We could, in theory, have it connected up. What about the size of these? I feel like these would probably work a little bit better. But where would we want them? We could technically place them here and then move it around a little bit, or does it look good if we have one just about here? There? I don't think we can fit two in, can we? Because it's they're all a bit strange. I mean, technically we could. Let's see what that looks like. It's annoying because I don't think you can move it mod these. To be fair, that's not too bad having it doubled up. Yeah, okay. We're looking good, I don't know what was here that I've destroyed. I swear there was something there. I'm confused. Okay, we've done a couple of adjustments and we've decided that I think this will live here. I think that's quite a cool little thing to have there. So that will live there. I wonder if, can we fit some thin parking along the back here? It looks like we can. How far along can we get it? All the way to there? I want it to just go in line with that. Perfect. Okay, that's some parking, which is good. Let's pick out a pathway that runs along the back here. I don't really know where you want to go, but you can go there for now. Oh no, we don't want you to go in there. Why would you go in there? No, stop. One sec, let's do this. Something, please. I'll do. Means we can delete it up to there and then delete. Oh, come on, son. What's going on? What a disaster. There we go. Perfect. Oh, no. What are you doing, pal? You don't want to connect up there. That's going to be that's like a climbing wall. Just going to run a pathway down the back of that section there as well. And then we're going to try and drag this surface, I think it is. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. All the way out there. And then that one a little bit further out, just to about there. And now we need to try and fix this mess that we've made, which, to be honest, it won't be too bad. It will just look slightly different than the original because we've had to use our own surfaces, which are all very annoying at the moment. They don't want to play with me. Work! Right, we just want that to come to here, that to there, and so on and so forth. Fantastic. Okay, we've got a few textures sorted now. Let's just add a little hedgerow alongside here as well. Just to add a little bit of the niciness to it. That. Little one there. And we'll probably just bring that one up as well slightly. And that can link up to here, and then one maybe across there. Would look nice. Why not? You can go in there as well. Okay, fixed. Now we need to sort out this area here. This bit is going a bit strange. Need that to come in just slightly. Okay, it's come in. It's a little bit off. Oh, oh no! It's all going wrong. It's all going wrong. We want it to come across, but we don't want it to impede over our bench. Our bench? Our path. It does that immediately, doesn't it? We just want to... Come on, let me be. Let me be. I mean, we've got a path next to here anyway. Is it worth us just getting rid of that path there? I think so. And then we can just replace that area with nice green grass. Like that. Good. That looks a little bit better. And then a few trees in here, and that will be fantastic. Now, I would also love to have this lecture hall in here. Would probably fit just about here if we extend some of the textures a little bit. So if we whack you in there, yeah, that looks alright, doesn't it? That's not a problem. And then we'll just draw some of this out to the end. It should look pretty good, hopefully. Go. And then the same over here. Same over here. Good. Better. Yeah, that's a nice little area, that. Happy with that. That's pretty cool. Spot on. Now, just down this portion of the road here, I would like some higher, not too high, but higher density buildings just along this sort of area here. So that's what we're going to try and work with, just placing a few slightly taller buildings just along that portion there, just to build out towards the sea a little bit. One there. Ooh, come on, give me some good looking buildings, boy. That one is... it looks just a bit weird, doesn't it? Maybe I don't want those buildings there. I mean, one of them would probably been fine, but all of these, they're like the basic assets, aren't they? They just don't look good. We need asset editor so badly, because all of the basic assets are so dull and boring. I mean, that can somewhat stay there. That's not too awful, but we'll have to have a look for something a little bit nicer, because yeah, a lot of these aren't great. What about that one? We'll go through and see what we can find, but yeah, some of them are a bit meh. Okay, so I've gone for a kind of a small strip of commercial autosave instantly, just down this section here to kind of break up the main kind of main highway. I might actually, the main avenue, sorry, I might put some on the other side as well, potentially, just to kind of blend it in just that little bit more. But I think at the moment it looks alright. We just got to try and fill in a couple of gaps here. Debating whether or not we do that with our commercial or not. I'm not entirely sure just yet. So we might just see what kind of buildings we can kind of get in here. But it might be the case that we're better off without those there. Or to be fair, if we had something smaller, it might work out a little bit nicer. Like something like that, just on the corners. But that seems very weird, that building. Not sure if I like it. I'm just messing around with this plaza here because I feel like that would be quite a cool little addition to add in. But only if we can kind of get the junctions a little bit better. Something like that work. Don't know what that tree's doing. And then we want to upgrade these trees to these. I think that looks quite good there at that little location, to be honest with you. Can we drag a small alley just into there? And then if we change this little portion of grass into nicer grass, like so. Looks pretty nice. Then potentially a few hedges around this little section here, just to make it look like it's well kept. Good. And a couple of trees within. And that's an alright looking area there. I think that's pretty good. That's not too bad. A nice unique plaza for the people to visit. A few commercial bits, and then we just need to fill in this little gap here next. Not sure what with though just yet. I feel like that building's quite nice and unique. Would certainly have some great views of the beach. I think that's quite a nice looking building. We don't want it too high density over here, but just having one that kind of is a little bit bigger than the others. It looks relatively modern. I think that could fit there relatively nicely, to be honest. So I've built a nice cluster of high but not too high density buildings down here. And we just need to try and, so I'm losing my voice, just need to try and blend these in a little bit with a few trees amongst them, just so the ground doesn't feel too empty. Trees here, tree there, tree everywhere, and alongside here. Perfect. I can't actually see it here, but we just want it to look nice and kind of full up. You know what I mean? I don't want too much empty green space. One there. Are we looking down here? That's fine. That seems fine. Good. Right, let's have a look. And there we go. We've got a small cluster of taller buildings just along this edge now, which I think looks really, really good. That's blended in pretty nicely. Nothing is too high and sticking out. I've recoloured a couple of the buildings just to blend them in just a little bit more. But that little area certainly looks much nicer now. Just a nice small cluster of medium and high density. Really does make quite a big difference down there. What I would like to do is build this section here, or I'm thinking like nice houses, but I'm not sure if it's going to fit the theme now, because that looks really good over there. That looks fantastic. Ooh, that's a hard decision, isn't it? That is a very hard decision. I'll have to think about that, and I'm still unsure about this. This might have to go. Because if you look at that, that looks so nice and kind of complete. With this here, ah man, it took so long to do. But it just might have to go. Maybe. We don't know yet, I'm not sure. I quite like this building now that I've recoloured it, but I can't get it to sit right within this sort of area, which is a little bit annoying. Unless it might be the case that we have to break this road connection. Get rid of that as well. See what we can kind of muster up along here. because that technically is connected. It just, I'm not sure if you would have that there though, you know? I don't think that kind of sits right. I want it here, maybe because it kind of blends in the density, it kind of brings it down. If we had it there and put a road across here, I mean, it's the right sort of height, but it's just not quite fitting in kind of where we want it. Probably because of the road layout that we've got down here. It's slightly curved and not really doing what we want it to do. So maybe we won't use that. Maybe we'll forget about that little building for the time being. And try and figure out what else we can place in this section here. I'm thinking maybe having these two buildings, these two signature buildings, are like traditional CS2 OG buildings, these ones. I'm thinking maybe that could potentially work out of the back of this if we can try and mess around with the textures a little bit to try and get it to work out nicely. Brought that out to there. And then what have we got over here then? We've got, well, I mean, we could make that work. We just need to try and get rid of these trees if we can. I can never quite get it right. There we go. We can get rid of these trees there. And then if we get a little pathway that runs alongside, just like that, and then drops across just like that, that kind of looks like it's meant to be there now. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. Maybe a little fountain in here or something similar would maybe, oh, a little sculpture. That's a bit too small. They're all a bit too small. Maybe one of these. Like that, and then maybe a rogue path that goes from here all the way around into there. I think that's quite cool. Nice little addition. Put that right in the middle. Yeah, I think that's quite cool. And then we can add a couple of little benches, or save a couple of little of these maybe along the route. Yeah, we can do that. I think that would be pretty fine, to be honest with you. That'll probably look quite decent. Let's get it all the way from the end so that we do it all in one. Like that, and then do the same all the way across here. That's not quite how I want it. There we go. Just like that. That's a nice little plaza walkway that we've got there now. That looks fantastic. We might add a few things in here as well. Maybe we can kind of go with the same sort of thing just alongside the road here. Let's bring it out as far as we can, and maybe we'll do it from this angle, do it like that, and then just drop that last one just there. I think that looks quite nice. Do we want a couple more here? Then is there something else that we can potentially put in? Oh, we don't. We only want one of those. Come back. One of those and one of those. We need a couple benches as well. Otherwise, this looks just a little bit too empty. So where are our bench boys? Come on, bench boys. Where are you boys? Where the bench boys at? Yeah, you can have a couple of these probably. Like that, so that people can sit out and chill, have a nice sort of time. Same with probably a couple of seated areas just around there as well, and that'll be quite nice. That's a nice little area. Perfect. Good, good, good. And it kind of flows downwards as well, so it can kind of draw us into potentially lower density down this area. So we're just placing a few more different buildings alongside this coastal area. We've got the aquarium, I believe. This is some museum, and then we've got a cinema because why wouldn't you want to watch the cinema in the sun by the beach? Let's just sit indoors all day. So I've put those down there, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and decorate them a little bit. So we've got a little pathway connection here already, so we'll bring that along there, and then we'll bring a path along the back of here. We just want to try and draw that path into... I don't think we're going to be able to get a decent angle there, I'm afraid. No, I don't think we are. So it's just a slightly... I mean... It's never going to be perfect, is it, though, at this angle, to be honest with you? I wonder if we can bring another path right through the middle there. Oh, we can. That's fantastic. And then we'll close off the rest of this just down the edge here. Another little pathway connection. I'm gonna actually change that because that's just so annoying. We're gonna bring that up to here. That's gonna connect in there, and then that's just gonna connect nice and straight across. Something like this. And then we can fill in our empty gaps once we adjust this surface. Good, right, let's change the surface around these a little bit. I might just see what other sort of textures that we've got. Because I did download a few more, but I don't think any of them really kind of fit what we're going for. We have to browse through. There's not really many that would work. Mainly like the decals and stuff as well, isn't there? But we've kind of... No, I think we're just going to have to stick with our standard grass that we frequently use. Just start filling in this sort of area with that instead. Just like this. Doesn't have to be perfect because it should layer correctly without causing us too many problems. Go. And then we just want to draw that one out just to there. That it's looking better at the front here. It's looking better. We just need a few trees and stuff around here, and then figure out what we're going to place down behind these. And there we have a few nice looking mixed use kind of. Some of them are shops, some of them are flats, but they kind of fit relatively nicely. Sat behind those kind of business attractions, so that looks really good. I like the way that's coming together. That's coming together quite nicely. I just can't quite get over the eyesore over here at the minute. I mean, it's not an eyesore, it's a quite impressive project, but do I want that there? Oh, can't decide. I think I'm going to wake up in the morning and be like yes or no, and that means it's going to either be completely demolished or we're going to keep it. I really don't know, because if you look that way, everything kind of fits the theme and looks kind of nice and blended in, and then if you look over here, it just doesn't fit what we're kind of going for, the city vibes, if you know what I mean. So it might be a case that we have to get rid of it. Potentially, we don't know yet, we'll see. It'll be very painful to get rid of, because there's a lot of details in there that we're going to have to pick up. Now down in this section here, I think we should start putting some nice kind of beachside waterfront mansions. Some nice houses, maybe even have this whole kind of, is it a peninsula where you're at the end? Kind of covered in some nice residential, just to kind of flow it down nicely towards the water's edge. I think that'd be quite a nice little way to do it. So that's what I might start off with. I might find a few theme fitting houses and then start popping them along the beach line, and then we'll go from there. So I've picked a few houses. I'm just going through and making them all sort of similar kind of colours, roofs, etc. I think this one wants to play ball though, or this one, but majority of them are looking pretty smart. And they kind of fit the kind of hot weather tropical sort of theme around here. And we might put a few pathways in around this area to make it easy for everybody to get to the beach. And then we'll see what else we can do detailing wise for our friendly rich people that are going to move to the beach. But all in all, I think this is coming along relatively nicely, to be honest with you. Just make a few little connections here and there. Then maybe a couple all the way across. Like that. Those wouldn't really go anywhere. That one's a good little spot for a pathway, just up there. Hopefully with a little bit less clickiness. I can go across. That can link into here. Just like that one. Fabulous. Anywhere else? That's a decent little location for a pathway. And then that means that can now connect to there. Good. Do we want to draw a small one around the back, just like that? Okay. Might as well have another one that goes from here just into there. Good. Right, that's plenty of pathways. Maybe there's plenty of pathways, adds more immediately. Just can't stop. I'm a pathway addict. I can't stop. I feel like if we could squeeze one through here, that'd be good. And then that can slip down into there. And then that can slip across there. And that one can go into there. Fabulous. Pathways for days. It's looking a little bit more complete. We need to tree it out, obviously. Trees for days, just to kind of blend it in a little bit better. And then it will start to look pretty nice, I would like to think. So I'm just going to start off by placing plenty of our palm trees. And then we'll check back after and see how it looks. Okay, that now looks much more like a neighbourhood. Now that we've put a few trees in the middle, packed it in a little bit. That looks far more like a neighbourhood than it did before. And these houses are really nice, really high quality properties, sat alongside the beach, looking fabulous as always. I don't know why there are random trees on my beach, but I do not like it. We'll have to get rid of them. We'll decorate the beach in a different episode because I, quite frankly, am running out of time drastically. Because I take so long to do everything. Oops. So that is good, that's good. Have a little look. Yeah, it's looking better. I do like this little estate. Once we make this a lot bigger, it'll be fantastic, I think, once we expand those houses all the way along here. This little area that we've built today as well, looking really, really nice. Still undecided on what we're going to do about our big industrial project that we made massive holes in the ground for. Undecided yet. I hate to say it, but I don't actually have time to finish this section and finish this section, so we're going to have to do that in another episode. But I think that looks really, really good. Obviously we need a quick cinematic just to, you know, because we love cinematics. So here we have it, a short cinematic of what we've progressed today. We've obviously got that nice university style building with a few of its sub upgrades placed around the edge of the highway. That kind of blends in and brings up towards our autosave. Autosave again, every time we're in a cinematic. We've got that blending up to the higher, kind of high/medium density offices and apartments that we've got over here. The nice little plaza as well, that kind of fits in pretty decently. And then a couple of kind of places to be, so the aquarium museum, all that sort of stuff down by the beach. A couple of apartments behind that, looking pretty nice. I really like how this area has come together. It looks really, really smart. And then we will, I can assure you, eventually turn on our little houses that we've created. I didn't want to keep you waiting, so I thought I would just adjust it slightly so that you could see our nice new houses, which really kind of fit the summer, hot, warm kind of climate theme that we've got going on. Most of them have swimming pools, they're all the same colour roofs. I think they all look really, really nice. So let me know your thoughts about the Chinatown place. Do we get rid of it or do we not? I need to know, or to be honest, by the time you see this video, I might have already decided. Who knows? Who knows? But nevertheless, I think the progress that we've made today is fantastic. We still need to detail this beach, but all is well. Thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Good night.